Hello, everyone. This is Steven. I am going to go over Gemini CLI. I haven't installed it on this computer yet. I use it on other computers. This computer is more of my like meeting computer. Where I put my notes and stuff, and I have like Citrix, second remote. But anyways, that's beyond the point. So it kind of works out because I can show you guys how to install it. But yeah, so for high level, Gemini CLI is basically a clone of Claude Code. It's probably not as good as Claude Code, but it's not that bad actually. Especially I found it's pretty solid for like Python and maybe some like front end stuff, but it's actually very good at Python. But yeah, it's an agent just like Claude Code. I think it's kind of like, I guess you could say it's great value Claude Code, but it's really affordable. Like you get like on the free tier with a personal Google account, you get like 60 requests a minute. So it's actually pretty solid. And the other nice thing is, I think Claude Code actually copied this feature recently, but it will actually integrate with VS Code. And I will show you how all that works. So let me go ahead and just install this guy. I don't know which one of these is going to work, but we'll see. So yeah, so I have my VS Code set up. I'm using Windows Subsystem for Linux. See if this works. You don't have to use it with VS Code, by the way, but there's this plugin that actually makes it really usable. It'll like basically show you the changes it's about to make. It'll pop up a window and do like, it basically does like a git diff of the changes. It's what was there previously and what's going to change, and that way you can kind of like analyze what's going on. But let's see if this will actually install. Completed. What are you doing? This might be something up with my computer. Oh no, it's doing it. But yeah, high level, really easy to install. You literally just, you can run one of these commands. There it goes, continuously installing. Has anyone here used Gemini CLI yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, has anyone used Claude Code yet?
Yeah, I actually, sorry, I was trying to find my unmute. I do use Gemini CLI.
Oh, okay. So you're already up there. Okay, so set it. Why didn't it? I'm gonna feel really stupid if I can't get this to install. Oh, wait. Let me see. Let me see what version. This is like I said, I don't really develop on this computer, so.
Yeah, they release updates. It's
okay. I need to update
there was
my
a large update yesterday. Yeah.
I think it's my npm.
Yep.
Update Node.js from 16 to latest. Yeah, this computer, like I said, I don't really use it, so that's why I don't use it for development. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and just do this real quick. Sorry, everyone. Should have prepared. What I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to go through to show you how easy it was. Ironically, it's not working out, but this is assuming you have the latest Node.js, because it does require a relatively recent. This computer only had Node, or just WSDL only had Node 16 on it, so I think it requires like Node 20, something like Node 20ish. So anyways, let me just go ahead and just wrap this up.
So I can share one of my the ways that I use Gemini CLI is I'll instantiate a session inside of like an Obsidian vault, and give it a like the instructions file, and then templates for like different types of notes, like if I want like specific YAML headers or whatever on my Obsidian notes. And then you can send it off to do like independent research, because it's obviously, using not the most sophisticated, but pretty sophisticated thinking mode. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay, so
kind of
you don't use it to
impressive. Like,
code. You don't really
no,
use it to code.
I actually, I do use it to code, but I also, I mean, it's, writing markdown files for me in Obsidian too. So it's pretty cool.
No, that's fine. That's another thing I found. Like you don't really people other than coders can use it, or you can use it for stuff other than coding. Because you're right, it does have a good thinking model. Okay, maybe I finally oh my gosh, thank you everyone. Sorry, this is having such a difficulty with this. But yeah, first step is you have to you gotta have a relatively recent Node.js. Yay, looks like it's but yeah, I use it heavily for Python and Vue. I've used it heavily for Python and Vue, and I try to just use it instead of Claude if I can. Claude is definitely superior, but I don't know. It's just the way the pricing works. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this. Finally, it's booting, so I'm going into Gemini. I use both, right? So I'll use one. Sometimes one thing will work, the other thing won't. Okay, so this is the cool part. You can log in with your personal Gmail account. So I'm gonna log in this one, sign in. Yay! Okay, so now it's authenticated. Okay, so help me install the VS Code plugin. I'm gonna tell it to install the VS Code. I don't know how to do that. I want to install the Gemini CLI VS Code plugin. See, it'll even do like Google searches for you, which is pretty awesome. Oh, okay, yeah. So there's literally a command /IDE installed. So it might work for other IDs as well. It's not supported in my current environment. Well, I'm in VS Code.
Can it self-execute terminal or shell commands?
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It can. 100%.
Yeah, that's why I was a little surprised it didn't just like run the command for you.
Well, you can do that if you do YOLO mode. So there's Gemini YOLO, and it will do whatever it wants. So this is like I actually used this a few days ago to just generate a bunch of unit tests. I just said, hey, like look at these files that exist already, and I just went into YOLO mode and I just said, hey, until the branch coverage is greater than 90%, just continue processing. Anyways,
So what that's pretty dope. That is really good to know.
yeah,
One of the things that I run into periodically, like I run multiple shell windows, but sometimes I need to exit a conversation or task and then re-enter it. Does it support reconnecting to a session, or do you just have to start over?
I think there may be a way to do that. I mean, it has like you can press up. Like if you press the up key, it'll actually go through some of your older commands that you've run. There probably is a way to do that, but I'm not 100% sure off my bat. But anyways, let's just vibe code something. I usually don't vibe code usually, except for the unit test thing I was talking about, and that's when I went to YOLO mode. But let's just generate what's something cool that we can make. Let's
A
let's just
crypto trading bot.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, generate a Bitcoin to gold ratio React app. I'm just thinking of something random. React app.
Very vibe coded problem.
Yeah, I don't actually. When I personally am coding when I'm using Gemini CLI, is I'll like have it open my files and I'll just tell it very explicit things to do. Like I'll be like, hey, edit this Python file to do X. The only time I've really truly vibe coded was with the unit testing. Okay, look, okay, there it goes. So it's gonna allow once, so it's already like, yeah, Tommy. So like, look, it's actually running the
Yeah,
command.
this is very, very similar to the stuff I see in Codex.
Yeah, and this flashy BS, I don't know why it's doing that, but I haven't seen this before. I think it might be because I'm using Windows, because I'm usually running it on Linux. It's
I
on a separate.
mean, I've done writers on shell. It's probably the configuration of the shell itself.
Yeah,
Um, because I've seen it before. It doesn't do it on my Windows. Um,
yeah,
but
but
it's not a big deal either way.
yeah, it doesn't always do this. Okay, let's see if it's actually. Yeah, I see. It even makes a plan. Like I said, I usually don't code like this. I usually have, really, I try to make it really specific, like one by one steps, but this is just kind of trying it out to see if it will work.
Well, one thing that I've seen some success with, at least from the like, I'm kind of abstracting out of the specific tool and really thinking more in general, like how to engage with these tools as as a concept.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of success out of asking it to map everything out first. Like let's define all of the steps. Let's, be specific, but like you can give a lot of that work to it and then tailor its response and then tell it to execute. And I found that helps a lot. And I suddenly find myself caring a lot more about what services have APIs and or like a RESTful connection. Because then you can just have it direct engage.
Yeah. All right. Where is it? What is it doing? I don't know where it's located here. I'm gonna just start over. Make dir blah cd blah. Let's make it a little. Actually, let's just go to Gemini YOLO mode. So you all can see that. I don't know if you all seen YOLO mode. Well, let's just give it something like generate a Bitcoin price tracker. Okay, wait, let's just make it smaller. Generate a Python file that gets the current price of Bitcoin and compares it to the price of gold. This is just a terminal. Actually, this will just be a terminal application at first that will use arg part. Well, actually, let's just do terminal application at first. You may need to scrape goldprice.org. Actually, I'll just let it figure it out. First, that I will run from the command line. It will just output the ratio to standard out. Okay, so I'm in YOLO mode. Let's see if this actually works. Oh, interesting. Share your conversation to a file. Okay, it looks like it's having. I've been running into this all morning. It's like trying to connect. It's usually not this ratchet or bad.
Every service has outages like this. It's
Yeah.
pretty normal. It's just unfortunate it happened now. But yeah, you might consider for the blinking issue using a different emulator. Like I use Commander and Git Bash. That might help your issue there. Not right now, but just as an idea.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, look at it. I'll check out Commander later. I might need that for my VA computer because I'm trying to get these. I can't use this stuff at the VA just yet. Okay, look. So
I put
I
the
put it.
spelling in the chat. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I put it in YOLO mode, so we'll see if it actually. Yeah, there it goes. So it's okay. So I think what I first gave it, the first thing I gave it was a little like out of its league, like probably too much all at once. So I think what I found is if it's just like coding in general, if you make small little applications and then you can build off of that, that's I find that a lot, like a lot easier for this tool at least. So like you kind of like, so I'm basically just making one little script that just gets the gold and Bitcoin price. So we'll see if this works. And it's in YOLO mode, so I just started using this. Oh, look, it worked.
That's
See?
awesome.
Yeah, look. Okay, so let's just go run it. Where is it? Is it in play?
You have to run Python or like Python and then the
Oh yeah. I'm familiar with that. I'm just trying to figure out like what directory we're in. Oh, it's in blah. So let me just go. I prefer doing it like this. Then Python 3 or Shebang. Doesn't really matter. There you go. So it generated this entire script in YOLO mode. Let's just open it up. Code. What? You're in VS Code. What in tarnation? But yeah, here you go. So yeah, it generated all this. So yeah, now now we have a script to get the ratio, right? So now we can like go back into YOLO mode.
One thing I really like about this over Codex is actually the presentation. I like how it has the draw boxes around different segments. It explains the reasoning behind each step, and it does visualize the diffs a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So in terms of just tracking what it's doing, that's pretty nice.
Like I usually don't use YOLO mode, and I usually have it set up where it'll actually like, I don't know how to get this to work in this, but it will usually, at least on my other computer where I do most of my development for fun, it will actually, when I'm not in YOLO mode, it'll actually bring up the diff in VS Code for me. So it'll say, here's the original, and this is what we're changing. Do you approve this or not? So it'll ask me every time, which I find is actually pretty nice for kind of more complicated stuff. But right, like we're just kind of in YOLO mode, so generate a API that another file. Generate a file called API.py that uses the logic inside of, what was that file called? Is it?
I think it was called Up Arrow.
Oh, Bitcoin gold ratio.
Sorry, I was snarky.
No, you're good.
There was no chance I could remember that.
Bitcoin gold ratio pi, not the print line. logic to return a JSON object with the gold to Bitcoin ratio. All right, so let's let it YOLO. But yeah, I think you guys kind of get what I'm doing. I'm kind of like splitting a problem up like you would do normal coding, but instead I'm kind of thinking, I'm letting like Gemini CLI like kind of do it per file, if that makes sense. I wanted to actually import. No. No, I wanted you to import from the ratio from the file and create a REST API that I can call via curl. But anyways, I think you all get the idea. Wow, gold's expensive. That's crazy. But yeah, I think you all get the idea. Why in the world is it using Python 2 set? Oh, I think it corrected itself. But yeah, this is kind of how I use it. Pretty useful, especially for Python, I found. Let's see if this works. Oh, I think I know why, because I'm in, man, I don't like WSDL. I don't like Windows development anymore. If I do like this, it'll work though. Because the WSDL has a different IP address. Oh, no, that didn't work at all. Huh. Yeah, I could probably get it to fix it, but I don't want to go too far into this. But yeah, I think everyone kind of understand what I'm doing, the flow I use.
Yeah, I know this sounds kind of silly, but you could always just ask it like, what is the curl command for this app?
Well, the script broke. Like it doesn't work, so I'd have to go and get it to fix it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's running in dev, so you probably have an alternate address, but that doesn't make sense why it would suddenly break out like that.
No, like look, it's not even like if you run it like this, it's not even.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
but
see.
you
So
could
it's
get it to
formatting out, and then E is probably
yeah.
not.
Well, you could. I mean, I could get it to fix it if you. Let's go YOLO. I don't want to keep you all too long. So if you do, I can go back into the YOLO mode. Like I said, I usually don't use YOLO, but it's just kind of cool. We can say, hey.
And what happens again if you shell interrupt out? I think I missed that part.
If you do Control C.
Yeah.
It'll just quit it. It'll quit it.
I
And
was
then you
just
can go back
wondering if it
in.
gives. Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I was asking earlier. Is I would have been surprised if they didn't have a like go back in thing.
You can look at. I think it will bring back some of the context, but if you make a Gemini.md file, it will read from the Gemini.md file of the project and give it like basic commands and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Because what I've been seeing with Codex is it has a very significantly large context window, but eventually, as you're developing, it runs out. And then at around 10%, it collapses the context. I have no idea what that process is actually doing under the hood. And so I'm wondering with Gemini, it sounds like what they do is manage it through a file.
The context, I'm not entirely sure. I want to say the context is like just for one session, but what you can do is you can give it a Gemini.md file, and that it acts as like the system prompt for when you open up a new session, if that makes sense. So you can give it context about your project, like this is how you run it, this is how you do XYZ, what this project is. I don't really use that heavily, but that is something you can do. Wait, okay, let's see if it was it. Oh, what was it? Ratio? Yeah, there it goes. So it works. Pretty cool.
Dope.
Yeah, and then we could go from there, and I could actually have it build like a React UI or honestly jQuery. I like jQuery. I'm old school now. I actually prefer jQuery over React, but I don't get paid to do jQuery. But jQuery is probably superior. React is over-engineered, but I'm probably gonna get fired for saying that. But it's true. But okay, cool.
Starting flame wars.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed there's already like flame wars between the different AI agents. It kind of reminds me of the people fighting over the different IDEs, or like like IntelliJ versus Eclipse versus VS Code. I've noticed that already. There's like the Codex camp, and there's like the Claude Code camp. But I just use them all. I don't really use Codex. I probably should. I need to get that set up. But yeah, I have Claude and I have Codex, or sorry, Gemini CLI set up. But anyways, the kind of I think the main value point of Gemini CLI is it's actually pretty solid. And then if you already have like your Google Pro subscription, I mean you can just use it and just log in, and it works pretty well. And I think it is rapidly catching up to Claude Code. And I wasn't able to show it here, but the prompting when it asks you, do you want to make this change or not, and actually pops up in your IDE. I find that really useful because honestly, it kind of replaces, before ChatGPT came out, most of coding was just like Googling Stack Overflow. So now with Gemini CLI and I guess Claude, they just kind of skip the step of going to your web browser. In like searching, so it kind of does it for you. So, but yeah, that's it at a high level. But
I will say, like, I think that the web searching in Gemini, I know I keep bringing up Codex, it's just because it's the only point of reference that I personally have right now.
Yeah.
And I'll do a thing on that later. But I did notice that the web searching through Codex was pretty awful. It's really not great. It just formats it down into curl commands effectively. And whatever Gemini's doing there looked pretty nice. Like it looked a lot easier.
Yeah, you can tell it to search too. You can be like, hey, do a web search for this, and then actually, if it can't figure it out, it will do web searches. So, it's pretty nice. I mean, I pop into it. I can't use it at the VA, but I am working on a workaround to be able to use it. But for my personal projects, I've been using it heavily. Like I rewrote a whole front end using Gemini CLI. So it's pretty. It took like it probably would have taken me like a month pre-coding, running pre-AI agent, which is why I never did it. But it took me like a week with Gemini CLI. I think I used Claude Code a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty solid. It's funny though. I find it when and I think I posted some research around this in the dev chat. Python is actually really awesome for it because Python uses less tokens. So I found when I was doing the front end development with Gemini CLI, I kept running out of tokens because it does rate limit you because I guess HTML and TypeScript use way more tokens than something like Python will. So that's just something to know. It's really good with Python. But cool. All right. Well, I'll give everyone back, I guess, 29 minutes of your time. Thanks for showing up. And feel free to reach out if you need any help with Gemini CLI. But cool.
Thanks, Steven.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Steven.
Thank you, Steven.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.